Sometimes we can learn our best lessons through a parable, a story told by someone that teaches us an important truth. And one day, Jesus was talking to a crowd that had religious leaders and Pharisees that he knew that had harm for him and their intent. And he began to tell a series of parables. And this is one of the parables that he told them. As you listen, I want you to be thinking about what you can learn about the character of God through this parable. In Luke 15, 11 through 32, this is what we are told. Well, there was a man who had 2 sons. And one of his sons, the youngest one, came to the father and he said, "Father, I want you to give me my part of your property." And so the father divided the property and gave it to his 2 sons. Well, not long after that, that son took all that he had and he left and he went to another country. And he ended up wasting it all. And he had nothing left. Well, about this time, a famine started to occur in the land, and there was no food available for the people. And he was without food, and so he went to go look for a job. He went out into the country, and a farmer gave him a job to go work in the fields taking care of his pigs. And while he was feeding the pigs, he realized he was willing to eat what the pigs were eating because no one would give him anything to eat. And so when he came to his right mind, he realized at home, if I was my father's servant, I would have more than enough food. So he determined he was going to go home to his father and say, "Father, I've sinned against heaven and I've sinned against you. I'm not worthy to be your son. Could you please hire me as one of your servants?" And so he left to go home. Well, as he was walking towards home, off in the distance, his father saw him coming. And his father took off and he ran to him. And he grabbed him and he hugged him and he kissed him all over. And he shouted to his servants, "Go, get the robe and the ring and put it on him." And the son said, "Father, I'm not worthy to be your son. I've sinned against heaven and I've sinned against you. Could you just make me your servant?" And the father said, "Go and get the fattest calf and kill it, because today we are celebrating because my son, he was dead, but now he's alive. He was lost, but now he is found." And so they had a huge celebration. Well, the older son, he had been out in the field. And when he was coming in, he heard the music and the dancing. And he called his servant over and he goes, "What's going on?" And the servant said, "Your brother has returned. He was lost and now he's found. And your father has killed the fattest calf. And we're celebrating him because he's returned safe and sound." And this brother was so angry that he refused to go in and join in the celebration. So the father, he went out to his oldest son. And the son said to him, "Father, I have been your servant. I've done everything you've asked. I've obeyed you. And not once did you ever even kill a goat for me and my friends. And this son of yours that went off and wasted everything on prostitutes, you kill the fattest calf to celebrate?" And the father said to him, "My son, you are always with me. Everything I have, it's yours. Your brother was dead, but now he's alive. He was lost, but he's found. We should celebrate." May God honor the telling of his word. As you listen to this parable that Jesus told those religious leaders, what do you learn about the Father, the creator of heaven and earth, and how he responds to one of us? Whether we're the son that goes off and wastes everything and comes back, or if we're the son who stays and works, but then has anger and jealousy and bitterness. What was the Father like to both of them? It is so important to be in the Word so we can be with Jesus, so we can be transformed. Shalom, y'all.